was given to me by a very famous rock star, and it came at just exactly the right time. We had just finished Belladonna. Took 3 months because we were really rehearsing, because when you're making your first record, you do not mess around and take 6 months instead of 3. So we finished right at 3 months. And at the very end of it, my producer, Jimmy Iovine, came walking up to me, like sauntered up to me and said, we have a problem. And I'm like, back, and what is that? Because I was like terrified instantly. He said, well, you don't have a single. And I'm like, excuse me? Seriously? Why didn't you tell me this like 10 days ago or something? He goes, I had to stand back and look at it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that home and try to think about it. So you stood back and looked at it and you decided we didn't have a single, and what are we gonna do now? I can't just run in there and write a single, so that's not possible. And he said, well, you know that other band that you've always wanted to be in since I met you? And I'm like, yes! And he says, well, your soon-to-be friend, Tom Petty, has a song that, just like fun fact and the behind-the-scenes thing. Jimmy was producing my album, and he was also producing Tom Petty's record because he's so organized. He could do two at once, unlike the rest of us. And so anyway, he said he has a song, and Tom thinks, that this would be a great song for you to sing. It's done, it's recorded, the vocals are done, all the, lead guitar's done, it's all done. So if you want it, he will give it to you, and also, if you would like, he will sing it with you, if you would like. I said, I would definitely like it. And I didn't even ask to hear it, which is very not me. I would always usually go like, well, I need to hear it, it's gonna replace something else. So I didn't even go there. I just went like, okay, when are we going? And he said, we're going tomorrow, because we're in a hurry, so. I said, okay, can you just give me like the lyrics and a track or something? He said, yeah, I can. So I went home and I studied it really carefully for hours. Then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and was like, oh my God, it's gonna be the best day of my life. And so I go with Jimmy to Tom's studio, and of course I was like, ladies, I was like dressed to the nines. In my 6-inch handmade Italian boots by Mr. Di Fabrizio. My total handkerchief, satiny, silky deal, the hair. And so I walk in, and right the second I walk through Tom's studio's door, I went like, wrong outfit. So I thought, okay, you gotta play this down right now. You gotta sit down into your boots. And I just knew. So Tom was walking up to me and he goes like, hey Stevie, how you doing? And I'm like, you got the accent, Stevie. Goes like, hey Tom, how are you doing? Thanks for the song. And he's like, you know it? And I go like, I know it. And he says, well, let's do it. And I'm like, let's do it. And we walked over to the mic, square to go. 2 mics very close to each other is what I remember. And we did the song once, and we both knew like, oh, we got it. And then we did it probably 2 times more in case we made a mistake somewhere that we didn't hear. So you have a backup, smart people. And and it was done. And then it was like over, and I was so bummed because I thought, we're gonna do this song over and over like 10 times, and then we're gonna take a coffee break, and then we're gonna go back to it for another couple hours. I'm like, no. It was done, it was over, and I was like, okay, later, babe. And so, anyways, I walked out, and I didn't see Tom for a while. This song became the single of Belladonna. And it kicked Belladonna into Billboard 100 at 3, and went straight to #1, and started out my solo career. Thank you, Tom Petty, for Stop Dragging My Heart Around.